Hi, how are you today? This is JilliBling. I have a project to share with you that I've had sitting in my Pinterest feed for a long time, and I've pinned it 3 times. In May, I'm trying to do May as Manly May and make cards that can be masculine or feminine, but I'm trying to aim for masculine. And this card will do just fine to fill that. And I love how simple it is. What do you think? I love the paper. And this was posted and designed by Lollipop Paper and Ink. And I'm not sure what she did on the inside, but I just added a little bit of inside art. But isn't that great? So I first made this one, just like how Lollipop Paper and Ink made it. And then I made another one, different layout, different designer paper, but everything else is the same. And this is a little bit more feminine because of the bow, the crinkle white seam binding. And then just a few of these little sprigs on the inside, so you can write whatever you want. There's nice words in this set. I'll show you the sets here in just a minute. But nothing really worked with these words. So it's pretty, it's fine just like that. And then finally, can you tell I have a hard time doing simple? I had to add stuff on. So this one I used the Whiskey Business stamp set. And once again, everything else is the same layout, just a different choice of the paper. And then on the inside, just a little cup. Don't drink whiskey, but I think it looks really good. And I kind of like these little sprigs here poking up. So we will use, that last one was Whiskey Business stamp set. And this punch is a bundle with Lovely You stamp set. This has some really great words in it. And these little images, they're great. We'll be using this punch. This punch, I don't want it to glare too much. There's 2 different ends, tag end or word end. I should try this one. That might, I'll see how that goes. And there's, see these 3 little channels on each of them? That's for the width of your paper. And there's little dashes, little dots right up here. That will show you what the different widths of the paper will punch out. And we'll work with that. On the bottom, I don't know if you want to do this, but I reference it all the time. It helps me. The little channels we were just talking about, 1, 2, and 3, those are 1/2 inch, 3/4 of an inch, and 1 inch. Just so you know how wide to cut your papers. But we'll work with this in just a minute. And I have a few tips on working with this punch. I tried it a few months ago. Every time I tried it, I wasn't getting good results, but I have a trick, but I'll show you that when we're making the card. So we talked about Lovely You, that's bundled with that punch. Sunflower dies, that is just for these 2 dies. That's what makes these nice little sprigs of greenery, grayery. Okay. And basics, over here I have basic gray ink and Memento black ink. And I pulled the Memento out just for when we were coloring the whiskey bottle and the whiskey glass. And glue dots, and this is new, Baker's Twine Essential Pack. And it has 5 different colors of twine in it. Black, white, I think this is granite, vanilla, and I'm pretty sure that's crumb cake. Very nice. And the white they give you double, which at first I was thinking, oh, I'm going to run out of the white quick, but I notice it's considerably a little bit thicker and wider and more full of product. I like it. I use a lot of Baker's Twine, particularly the neutral solid colors. Sometimes I kind of have it braided, like 2 different colors, which looks great for a particular project, but I really like the solid color. Okay, so bits and pieces. So this one was the last one I did. a little bit fancy. I'm going to try to take it back to the less is more theory, like the first one. Just using a different paper, trying that punch. I like these little end things. This is in the Lovely You stamp set. It's this one right here. So I'd like to do that again. You know, speaking of less is more, for the longest time I had this sitting right here. Can you see that? Less is more or less. And it's true. This card right here, perfect example. Less is more. It's very appealing, striking. Okay, so this is going to be the sample, somewhat. I want to use the words, let's cheer you up. Oh, on the outside, cherished friend, let's cheer you up. That's the plan. So here are the pieces. I was painting. This is a little distracting. I try to do just a little bit every day. Okay, so these are for the punch, and we'll do that in just a minute. This paper is for the dies, and when you cut these out, just put them on here, and you don't need the bottom piece of it. You'll get the majority of it, but you'll end up cutting that off anyhow because it gets a little bit too long. So we'll cut those out. Here they are, cute as can be. And, okay, I'm going to try to work from the bottom. So I'll take my card base, fold it in half. Less is more or less. And these pieces are going on here. This is going to go on to the inside. So I'll attach this basic gray paper. I just read a post on Facebook of a friend who's been battling cancer, and she's gone through 5 different rounds of treatment, and she just found out the tumor is still growing, and she decided to not do any more treatments and go on hospice. I just read that. She posted it. Ooh, that looks good. She posted it a half an hour ago, and it just sits so heavy in my stomach. I don't know what to say. I want to be there, and I always tell her I'm there, but I want to do something for her, but I don't even know where to begin. It's hard. It's very hard. Cancer is a bad word. Okay, so you see this coming together. I wonder if, could it go this way? No, I think I like to me this looks like a sweater. So this one, I think the word something about let's cheer you up, I think a sweater is a cheer you up type thing. So these will go about here. I'm just going to lay them here for now. And let's work on the words. So the words, I'll take one of each of these papers, and the punch says you could have your paper half inch, 3/4 of an inch, and 1 inch. I'm going to do the 2 larger sizes. I tried the smaller size, and many of my words did not fit on there, and it's a little bit challenging. Okay, so I'll put this here so you can see the white paper, so I could see that perimeter of the white paper, and cherished friend, and I'll do that in the basic gray. I guess I could do it in the black. Oh, I did that on this one. That's okay. Cherished friend. And this 3/4 inch white paper and these words, they fit perfect, but it's a little bit scary. I'm afraid to lift up the stamp and see what I have. Lucky. It's a little bit closer down here than up there, but that's okay. And I'll use more basic gray ink in just a minute. So for the punch, open that trap door. You know, I said I was going to use this. Let me check to see what it will look like. A few garbage pieces. Might be too small, too short. I think I like the other one better. So if you're doing this project, feel free to use the other punch. Maybe I should see what it looks like on the big one too. So I know this gray little piece is going to be much too short. So I put adhesive on a scrap piece of paper and I'll give that a try. It acts as a handle. I'm showing you what my little tip is for making this punch work, but we'll go over it again. Okay, so that's garbage. So let's see how this would look. So say I had the cherished friend stamped on here. Well, that looks kind of nice. It's a bit like, remember the Eastern medallion stamp set from a long time ago? It's kind of, I guess, Eastern. I'm going to stick with the other one, just for this project. If I do another sample, I'll use that one. Okay, so for using the punch, this paper is cut to 3/4 of an inch. I'm going to use this piece here, this punch. So just push the paper in, and it should just set down in the guides. So push it in. Then flip it over. The reason I have you flip it over is just to make sure that the paper that's being punched, like this, I could see it's a little bit heavy on this side and there's not enough over there. So you could just kind of scooch it over just a little bit. Now see, to me that looks perfectly centered in this section of the punch. So now I'm going to punch it. And when I flip it over, that's just fine. Oh, I was going to use that fancy thing. I think I didn't leave enough room. That's okay. So now it comes time to do the other side. And from experience, I know that that is how much will be cut off, because this amount right here is this amount right here. And I know my little bubble here is about 1/4 of an inch. So thinking the little bubble will go there, the punch wants a little more room. So I say that's about 1/2 inch extra before I cut it. And I know that my cut is not straight against these two parallel sides. I did my best, but the way that I've been lining it up, where you flip it over, so put it in, have it go in the guides, push it to the back, flip it over, and yes, I can see a little bit of a gap down here, but I'm just going to make sure they're straight, and luckily they are, and then give it a punch. So it is a little bit more work, but I get the results I expect. We're going to do it again with this basic gray paper. So we're done with this. So let's start out by punching the basic gray. So I'll slide it in through the guides till it stops. I think it should go further. There it goes. Okay, it's in the guides. Flip it over and just make sure that this little shoulder is equal to that shoulder. And if necessary, just kind of shift it just a little bit. Now they're perfectly centered in the punch, and give it a squeeze. Okay, So now we have that end. So I'll set this on, and this part is very forgiving. If I left it right there, that looks great. If I put it closer, that looks great. If I have it further out, that looks good too. So it's almost impossible to go wrong with this. So whatever amount you end up getting on the other side, we'll be able to get really close to what we want. But if it isn't exactly what you want, it still looks good. So I'm thinking the punch will go right out up to about here. And then I know I need to add on about another 1/4 inch. Okay. So I'll slide this in using the guides all the way to the back. It's still in the guides here. Flip it over. And if necessary, adjust it. And punch it. Look at that. Okay. See that? To me, that looks really good. Kind of wish I did my little side things. These are the side things that I was talking about. Oh, maybe I could stamp them off and just have them really light. Okay, full strength. Okay, taking a gamble. Yeah. Full strength. Well, it's a good thing I stamped it off. I'll show you that. Not that I'm really proud of it, but it did its thing. So it's okay, huh? Okay, so I'll attach this. Okay, good, done with this. And, okay, trying to keep it simple. That will go right about here. Oh, what ribbon? I think I planned on using this twine. I wonder if I could do something a little different. Maybe I'll wrap it around here 2 times. And tie it in a knot. I love this paper. I think it's in good taste. I probably should know. But it's a huge pack of paper. And we have it currently, and it's going to the new catalog. DSP. Here it is, on page 148, in good taste, $21 for 24 sheets. There are so many different papers, designs, variety, front and back. It's good stuff. Okay, so, oh, and for these things, because I end up with a drawer full of little pieces, I came up with a plan. It's working pretty good. With my snips, just cut down a little slit, just a little bit of it, and tuck it into there. Now it's tidy. I like tidy. Ooh, the black might look nice too. I don't know, the granite gray, to me it's turning a little to the purple hues, but I know it's just a combination of the colors I have going here. Okay, so this is going to go here, and this will go here, and I might put a bow on it too, like the bow is holding together the greenery. There, how's that? To me, that looks very comforting. I don't know about a bow. I kind of like it just like that. Okay, so dimensionals. And because the twine is there, I'm going to kind of stagger my dimensionals so I know that it will stick to the card. Those, I think my dimensionals are going to cover them, so I probably should get them in place. How about right there? This can go here, straight. And then I'll use some liquid glue to tack down. I like them popping up a little bit, so just to tack them down a little bit more so they don't fall out. And I'll trim this twine out of my Essentials twine pack. Are you guys excited for the new annual catalog? I am. I can't wait to get my hands on some of that stuff. I have a few things. Anything from here? Just the twine. Okay, so this will go down with regular adhesive. I could put it on dimensionals, but that's okay. I'm trying to do less is more. It's very hard, but that looks good. Okay, and then a little liquid glue. So these things, I'm just going to fold them over, not care if they get bent, because once I have glue on them and they stick to the designer paper, I know that they'll flatten out. Okay. See, my head is saying, how about some bling? Just put some random sparkles of bling. Okay, so the front is done. So now let's work on the inside while the stamp pad holds those down. So on the inside, I know there was some cute words I had planned for here. Let's cheer you up. Okay. It doesn't matter what color. Memento, basic gray, they're very similar. Ooh, that's really dark. You know what? I think I want to use the basic gray. You know, I should check this. So whenever you have a stamp, particularly words, and you want to stamp it straight, and you're trying, but you don't know, ink it, find something straight, pretend like you're stamping out on the card, and I'm lining it up with the edge of the basic gray. That's stamped exactly how I think it should stamp. So now I'm okay to put it on here, but sometimes you stamp it, and you think it's straight, and it looks like that, and you're like, what happened? And that's when I line up the words with the edge of the block. And that helps. Okay. Was it crooked? A little bit. Magic paper. That's better. So, in this set, okay, you can see that one. Cherished Friend. I could put some of these at the bottom. I think these two somewhat match. But you know what? I made an extra set. So how about those go? How about right there? Over here. Doesn't matter. It looks great. So I'll attach the inside white. And the basic gray will go inside the card base. Okay, so these pieces I'll put on with liquid glue. I could use my regular adhesive, but that would leave those little stringy things all in between these vines, these leaves, and I don't want that. So I want it right about here. And this I'll stick down maybe half of the leaves. And once again, I'm fine with them kind of popping up just a little bit. Okay, just let it dry. You know what? I might sneak on an extra. See, I can't help it. I have to bling it. I'm going to put a tiny little bow right here. Just a little bit. It's hard to do the less is more. Are you like that? Or is it just me? It's a struggle. So I'm trying to do a tiny bow. Tiny, tiny. Maybe. This piece here is just getting all twisted. There we go. Very cute. And probably would be best if I used a glue dot or a liquid glue, but I'm going to try a glue dot. So I'm going to roll it over maybe 3 or 4 times to make it just a roll of glue dot rather than a big circle, because I think that will hide underneath all this ribbon, all this twine just fine. Because the last thing I want is for the card to get stuck closed. Yeah, I don't know if this is going to work. I might need liquid glue. Okay, liquid glue. I'll show you why. Let's see, you could see that. See how the glue dot is kind of poking through there? I can imagine the card getting stuck shut and peeling the paper. Okay, sorry glue dot. It's not you, it's me. Okay, so liquid glue right about here. I'll just put a strip of it and let this sit in the glue. I know the fibers from the baker's twine will start absorbing the liquid glue, and the liquid glue will dry clear and hard, and it won't be tacky and stick to the top of the card when it's closed. Okay. Right like that. I like that. Okay, so that's it. See, it's an easy card. There's the outside. I'm gonna put this here. I don't want no whoopses. There's the front. And this is the one from Lollipop Papers and Ink. Thank you very much for sharing. I love it. This one, that's just a few of those sprigs. Very simple on the inside. Ooh, maybe this one needs a ribbon, a bow. And then whiskey business. Very cute. So I will put all the products to use on my blog, which is JilliBling.com, and the paper sizes. Hope you have a great day, and until next time, bye.